I'm Snoop Dogg, and I'm giving up smoke. I know what you're thinking. Snoop, smoke is kind of your whole thing. But I'm done with it. I'm done with the coughing and my clothes smelling all funky. I'm going smokeless. Solo stove, fix 5. They took out the smoke. Now you can have a nice blaze without any clouds ruining your day. Go smokeless. Go to solostove.com. Tell them Big Snoop Dogg sent you.
It's not just the season of giving, it's the season of giving back. That's why Kia is continuing its tradition of helping others by extending its partnership with St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. Kia's goal is to help St. Jude continue to improve the lives of kids and their families around the world through Kia's Accelerate the Good program. We want to make every child's holiday a little brighter. Join us and help celebrate Kia's season of giving back. Kia, movement that inspires.
Call 800-333-4KIA for details. Always drive safely. Event ends 1/2/24.
Phony and a phony at the mic.
This is the Bob and Jeff Show, starring Bob Lutz.
I just go with what I do.
Incredible. Wait for it. And I hope you're hungry because the second half of this word is edible. Incredible.
Jeff Lutz.
Have you ever been nominated for anything of the year?
Yeah.
What?
Man of the Year by the NCAA. I didn't win it, but...
Oh, my gosh.
97.5 and 1240 KFH.
Don't touch that dial.
All right, we are back. Hour number 2, the Bob and Jeff Show, a Friday edition. We've been absent all week with COVID. Thank you for putting up with us. We hope to be with you on a steady basis through the holidays. We are here to make picks. Jason Duda joins us along with Max. Jason Duda, we complimented you going to break after your assertion was met with some ridicule that you would turn it on after Thanksgiving. By golly, after Thanksgiving, you are now 12-6 in your past 2 weeks. What got into you?
Well, I told you it was Thanksgiving. I just needed till Thanksgiving to get into it. See the teams, know what's going on. It's very simple, Bob.
And then the football season ends, and here we are.
Before Thanksgiving, it's all a guess. That's why you guys are doing well. Because you don't know anything, you're guessing and getting lucky. That's it. Now
and you apparently do know things, and you're relying on that knowledge and sucking. So, not sure how that works, but whatever.
12-6.
Well, in these same 2 weeks, I'm 10-8, Max is 9-9, and Jeff is 9-9. Overall now. Jeff is the leader in games, 65-51. Max and I at 63-53, and Duda still only 53-63. In points, I have retaken the lead with 295. Jeff at 287, Max at 281, and Duda at 244.
And on
so
my
a few
way.
more weeks, you'll be right there. Here we go, Max. Let's hit the music. We start with the only college game of the week. Of course, that will change when we start picking bowl games, not knowing who's going to be playing for anybody. That'll be fun. Army and Navy. Army, a 2.5-point favorite in this annual battle. I'm going to go first, and I'm going to pick Army for 5. Jeff.
These picks are brought to you by FanDuel Sportsbook, America's #1 sportsbook and the official sports betting partner of KFH. I feel like if I were going into the military at any point in my life, past, present, or future, I would be in the Navy. I'd go on the ships. And is that front lines? I'd get killed first. I'm going Navy for 1.
Not sure what any of that meant.
None of it?
Duda.
Yeah, I honestly don't have a clue on this, and so I'll take Army for 1.
I like Army.
How'd you go that many points?
Because I did a little research.
Did a little research, okay.
A little, not a lot.
For a field goal game, you have a lot of
Max.
Game being played at Gillette Stadium, by the way, boys. And with Dewey Oxberger and Francis Psycho Soya, I'm going Army for 2.
All right, much confidence except for my 5 points.
There you go.
Now we get to the NFL. We're picking 6 games out of the NFL, some of them much better than others. We start with Jacksonville at Cleveland, an interesting game with no healthy quarterbacks. Cleveland 2.5-point favorites. Jeff.
Just don't see it for Cleveland offensively. I get that if Jacksonville doesn't have Trevor Lawrence, then they suffer also. But we don't know that they won't have Trevor Lawrence. So I'm taking Jacksonville for 5.
Jason Duda.
Oh, Jeffrey. Cleveland's defense at home is unbelievable. Joe Flacco looks like he's 22 years old again. Trevor Lawrence might not play, and who are they going to go to? C.J. Beathard, who has a shoulder problem? I'm not sure what's happening there, but I'll take the best defense. I got Cleveland for 4.
Their defense is okay. I mean, if it's not Myles Garrett, who's also
look at how good their
tweaked a
defense
little
is
bit.
At home, Jeff. You got to pay attention. This is
Grass
where you need
is
to
grass, dudes.
Learn. You need to learn. You need to learn, son.
Duda's had 2 good weeks, and now how many points?
4.
By the way, Cleveland lost to the Rams last week, so I don't know. Max.
On the road. You guys never listen. You just don't listen.
Well, why should we? You're terrible. Go ahead, Max.
Well, besides losing Trevor Lawrence, they lost their receiver too, Kirk, didn't they?
Yeah,
Yes,
done.
He's out.
He's out. Geez, how long has it been since Flacco played? He didn't look too bad for somebody that's been golfing. I'm going to go with the Browns at home for 6. That defense is pretty good.
He's still Joe Flacco. I mean,
That's
let's
true.
just
That's true, but I mean,
slow your roll a little bit.
they
And
don't
he
have
beat the
Lawrence.
Rams.
Lawrence
He
in
didn't beat the
receiver.
Rams. He
Bowl
lost.
They
winner.
lost to the Rams.
Super Bowl winner.
By the way, they lost 36-19. That wonderful, wonderful
They're
Cleveland
better.
defense.
The grass on the field in
Yeah,
Cleveland's better.
They're used to the fine-tuned grass at home.
We'll see, boys. We'll see.
The dog pound.
I'm actually going to take Cleveland for 1. But dude, I think I had him for 23 before that conversation.
Am I on 2 islands again?
You are.
Good grief.
Let's get to Denver and the Chargers. In L.A., I don't know much about the grass. Well, we just talked about
We
it.
know a lot about the
In SoFi Stadium.
L.A. grass.
The Chargers, 3.5 point favorites. We start with Duda.
This one, I don't know. I don't like this one. Denver getting that 3 in the hook, Jeff. Remember what the hook does?
We got the hook.
take
The hook
Denver.
brings you back.
I'll take Denver for 3.
What about you, Max?
Yeah, the Chargers, you just can't trust them. I like Denver for 1. I'll take Russell Wilson to stay
Here's the
within
problem
the hook.
in the NFL. You have multiple games every week where there are 2 bad teams playing. I don't know that these are necessarily bad.
They're
teams,
mediocre.
but they're not great teams. I'm going to pick Denver just because I think they've been playing a little better. I don't know. 2. I have no confidence in anything. Jeff.
Not much confidence here, but I at least am not going to be on an island here. Thankfully, like Duda, I have Denver for 3.
All right, a sweep for the Broncos. On the road, I don't know. The Rams, coming off that big win over Cleveland, they go to visit now Baltimore, where the grass we're not sure of. They are underdogs by 10.5 points, and we start with Max.
Yeah, the Rams are awful. They're just terrible. I'm going to go with the Ravens for a full 8. That's my 8's going.
But if they're awful and terrible, why did you pick Cleveland? I don't know.
Because
Max makes no sense.
they
I
have
don't
no,
get the NFL at
Lawrence
all.
isn't going to play, and they lost their top receiver, Kirk.
Still got Ridley and the other guy,
Yeah,
Zay Jones.
I don't know.
Yeah, Ridley's good.
But my point was, you said the Rams are terrible, but they beat Max. Go back to.
They had to
I'm
fly,
gonna pick
and they had to fly across country too. Listen, I
Oh,
was
for
stunned.
crying
I
out
was
loud.
stunned last night when I heard Ryan Leaf doing color on the Westwood One broadcast. How desperate are they?
Yeah, his first mistake was listening.
I
Baltimore
don't have
for
pride.
4 in that one. Jeff.
And I got to go next. the hook, man. That hook scares me. I think this could be a 10-point game. I'm going to take the Rams for 2.
And what about Jason Duda?
Jeff, the Rams play on turf. Now they're going to go to Baltimore against the best defense on grass. Bad weather.
Thought Cleveland was the best defense.
They're going to get pumped. They're going to get pumped. I'm not totally sold on it just because it is 10.5, but I got Baltimore for 5.
There you go. Grass making a big difference in the picks this week.
Huge.
Yes, no question. Detroit and Chicago in an NFC North battle. Detroit on the road, a 3.5-point favorite. Chicago's been one of those NFL teams. There's been about 15 of them that on a weekly basis, you just don't know what you're going to get. Detroit's been scuffling to some degree, but I'm going to pick Detroit against maybe better judgment for 5. Jeff.
I don't like any of these games. I don't want anything to be misconstrued for a whole lot of confidence. But I have to use my 8 somewhere, and it's going to be right here with the Detroit Lions.
Don't know where you're conjuring that much confidence with
That's
them.
what I just said. I just explained that.
Duda. Well, you did a poor job of explaining it.
Jeff just keeps falling behind more and more. I'm sorry. You're having an awful week already, Jeff.
You don't have to be sorry. It's okay.
Detroit's good at home. They play on turf. They're going to Chicago. What's in Chicago? Grass, Jeff. And they don't play well on grass. You know how they did last time they played on grass? They went to Baltimore and lost by 40. Now, if it was somebody better than Chicago, I'd have a little more confidence. But I got to take Chicago here. Chicago for 2.
On no other show in America would we give this much time to someone who trails by 50 points in our picks. But Duda has had 2 good weeks in a row.
He feels good about it.
We're giving him a little more leeway. Max, what do you think?
Yeah, Chicago's not very good. Detroit's up and coming. I'm gonna take them to win into the division for 3.
The Lions for 3. Philadelphia and Dallas, by far the big game of the weekend in the National Football League. Dallas a home favorite by 2.5 points. We start here with Jeff.
I don't like this game because everything in me wants to say that Philadelphia is going to win, but then I look at that spread and Dallas is favored. I might as well go with Dallas, so I'm going with Dallas. 4 points.
Jason Duda, what's the turf situation here?
Well, what does Philadelphia play on? They play on grass. Where are they going? They're going to Dallas. And what's in Dallas?
Turf.
Can anybody on Philadelphia stop an offensive raid in the air? No, nobody can. What is Dak and CeeDee Lamb and Jake Ferguson? What have they been doing lately?
Passing.
Crushing it.
Through the air.
This is your gift. Dallas for 8.
Well, Philadelphia also coming off a terrible performance, and everybody's questioning them.
They're not that good.
Again, Jason Duda with an awful record in NFL picks prior to the last 2 weeks. Max, what about you?
You said 2.5, Bob. You had it as 3.5 in the picks.
3.5 is what I meant.
Okay. Eagles, laid an egg against the 49ers, who I think it's their Super Bowl to lose. I think Philly comes back. I got Philly for 7 in Dallas. Don't ride in the convertible.
That's interesting. I feel I'm on board with Jeff and Duda, which, boy, just saying those words created a shiver up my
shiver
spine.
All your way to the bank.
I'm picking Dallas here because they're at home. I'm picking them for 7. Finally, in the NFL, Buffalo and the Chiefs in Kansas City. It's basically a pick'em game. The Chiefs giving a 1.5. Duda?
Both these teams have been disappointing as far as I'm concerned this year, but Buffalo more than Kansas City. Because it's in KC, after last week, I got to go with Kansas City this week for 7.
Max, how many points on the Bills?
Josh Allen's a man. coming back. The Bills for 5. The Bernard Pollard revenge will happen soon.
Come on, Mac.
I like the
Turf the grass. Turf the grass.
Yeah, Josh Allen's a man. He don't care.
I like the Chiefs in this one. I'm gonna go 8 points.
Really?
Jeff.
Yeah, the Chiefs win these games. The Bills do not. That's how I pretty much have seen it over the last several seasons. I'll take KC for 7.
And finally, we're going to pick a game in the college basketball ranks. KU at home tomorrow. A rivalry game against the University of Missouri. I've given KU 11.5 points. Actually, I've given Missouri 11.5 points. We start with Max.
I wish it was Brady Cook and the Tigers in the football because I want him to be the next Patriot pick, the quarterback. But I'll take KU for 4 since I don't know anything.
KU for 4. I like Kansas for 3. Missouri's just dangerous enough to be able to. That's a line that I'd be shocked if the real line wasn't right at 11.5. Jeff.
Duda, where do the Missouri Tigers play?
This is basketball. They both play on the hardwood, Jeff.
But where do they play?
What are you talking about?
They play in Missouri. They're going where?
To Kansas.
The Allen Fieldhouse. That's correct. Way to play along. I will take KU for 6.
Well, how do you play along to that?
Well, how do you play
what
along?
was
What does Philadelphia play on? Or what? That's all dumb.
Yeah, that's a good point. Duda, what are you
Terrible
picking here?
Terrible point. Absolutely ridiculous. Can't believe I picked up the phone to listen to this. KU for 7.
KU for 7. You just picked Kansas City for 7. The only number you have left is your 6-point pick.
I'll give him 6 then.
There you go. All right, that was...
Has Duda been Philadelphiaing?
Yeah, you've talked a lot about grass. Are you on some?
I am in the backyard.
He seems more like a gummy guy to me.
Well, that's true. All right, good stuff. Thank you. We'll talk to you soon.
See you, boys.
Later.
We'll take a break and talk some high school basketball with our friend Joanna Chadwick from Vype magazine. She's our guest next.
I'm Snoop Dogg, and I'm giving up smoke. I know what you're thinking. Snoop, smoke is kind of your whole thing. But I'm done with it. I'm done with the coughing and my clothes smelling all funky. I'm going smokeless. Solo stove, fix 5. They took out the smoke. Now you can have a nice blaze without any clouds ruining your day. Go smokeless. Go to solostove.com. Tell them Big Snoop Dogg sent you.
Reimagine this holiday season with more capability and more adventure in Kia's Ever-Ready lineup. This winter, gift yourself what you really want during Kia's Season of Giving Back sales event. Kia is offering great deals on the capable Sorrento and the spacious Sportage, and deals on even more vehicles like the all-electric EV6 and the fun-to-drive Forte. So visit your local Kia dealer and explore all your newfound possibilities by enjoying Kia's Season of Giving Back. Kia, movement that inspires.
Call 800-3334-KIA for details. Always drive safely. Event ends 1/2/24.
This is the Bob and Jeff Show on 97.5 and 1240 KFA.
Joanna Chadwick joins us, Vype magazine. We're going to talk some high school basketball. I don't know, Joanna, if you are aware that both of us have been a little bit sidelined due to COVID. So we are, my high school basketball, and I love high school basketball, but I'm just not there. Tell me what's going on. What are the early season stories?
Well, I think that there are a lot of teams that we should be watching for that have a lot of really good players that you can definitely check out. I think that where do you want to start? Where do you want me to go?
I'll start here. McPherson, they look like they might be good. How do they do it?
It's really interesting because I got to see them play against Derby on Tuesday night, and they took it to Dodge City in their opener a week ago on Friday. And they've got guys who've just gotten even better than they were last year, and they were good last year. Corey Mueller is just a bucket waiting to happen. Gabe Pyle is a bucket waiting to happen. And the rest of the guys just do what they need to do to get the job done. Kaiden Thompson is really highly regarded, and he doesn't have to do a ton of scoring because he's got Gabe and he's got Corey Mueller. But Kaiden can score as well. They're phenomenal shooters. They always seem to be phenomenal shooters, though.
That pretty much happens with McPherson. The result that surprised me on night one last Friday was Campus over Andover, and then Campus, I think, might have been Andover Central. They beat somebody else recently, too, so that might be a team that our friend Chris Davis wishes he was coaching. How good can Campus be?
Well, Campus, interestingly enough, I don't know their supporting cast, but they bring back Andrell Burton and Kason Thomas. And Andrell Burton, of course, is a Drake. I believe he signed already with Drake. He's phenomenal. His arms are like, I swear, Elastigirl's arms. I mean, he can fly, he can dunk, he can hit a three. Kason Thomas gets to the rim as well. The problem with them with Campus last year, is that they struggled with having the pieces around them. Now, I think Andover is going to be just fine. They've got a lot of talent on that team, with Josh Kim, with Blake Rucker, just for starters. But the issue that they're going to face is, how do we win without the guys who we've been counting on for the past 3-4 years, with the Eli Shetlers, the Harris twins, et cetera. Derby girls have the same issue, is how do you learn to win where you've been counting on Addie Brown for the past 3-4 years? And so it's a mental thing that they're going to be just fine. But Campus, Campus is a team that you should definitely be watching for.
Joanna Chadwick, our guest, he's been around high school basketball a long time. Am I right? Have the Cheney girls in Wellington already played twice and split those games?
I don't think they've played twice.
I thought I saw that Cheney beat Wellington, but then I'm looking at a score here that says Wellington. Oh, this is boys. Forget it.
Forget it. Yeah.
Wellington girls lost?
Yeah, Wellington girls did lose. They're in a situation, and her name escapes me, but their big girl, their tall girl has I think it was an ACL. So they still got Britt Zika. They still got Val Norwood, but they took a hit with their inside game. However, they had a sophomore step up. I believe her name is Lindy Burton last night, Tuesday night. And they're going to be okay. But there's no doubt that Cheney is one of those teams to watch. Now, Cheney boys did just take a loss. But, these teams like Andover Central, Cheney, they're relying on a lot of those guys that just played in a state championship game, too.
So, last week, man, it's crazy that it's been over a week, I think. We had Joe Auer on the show, and he ran down every player in the City League and every coach, and they're going to be good, and they're going to be good. And then, of course, we get to week one, and it's Capon and Heights again. Any hope for that league beyond those two teams?
Well, he's right, though. There's a lot of really good talent. And what makes me happy is that there's a lot of talent out the league, which one of our biggest loves for the City League, for those of us who have been around for so long, is that the City League has long been strong from top to bottom. We have not seen that in recent years. And I mean, maybe some of these guys are starting to stay in Wichita as opposed to going to middle school and out to the suburbs so they can play as freshmen. I don't know. But I like what others have. I think that there is a lot of talent in the City League. But the best teams, no doubt, it's Capon and Heights. I mean, they're very good. But did you see that Southeast got Carroll? That one,
yes.
That's a tough game right there. That's a tough matchup.
Yeah, and we saw then that Capon beat Southeast pretty handily. But it's, listen,
Yes.
Steve Eck and Joe Auer are going to be at the top of the league. That's not breaking news. They've done this long enough. They have very solid and top-notch programs. Let's talk about City League girls a little bit, because that is a little bit more, maybe a little bit more quality depth at the top with Heights, South, Southeast, Bishop Carroll. Capon has an impressive early season win. I think I'm kind of interested in City League girls.
Joanna's not.
That knocked Joanna out of the loop, apparently. That kind of astute.
Well, she's so used to you not. Yeah, now we can.
Now we got you back, and I made a great point, and then you left us.
I was so flummoxed that I didn't even move from inside my car that's parked in the parking lot. But it's one of those things that you bring back a Kip Pulliam to coach, and he's a proven winner, and they're loaded, and Bishop Carroll has consistently been strong, and so I think East has some good players over there too. The coach's kids, Chandler's kids. I think that this could be a really fun year when it comes to City League basketball.
Did we know that Kip Pulliam was back at Heights?
I did.
Of course we knew it. You didn't know that?
Did you tell me? Who told me?
Apparently just Joanna did just now.
Well, good for
If you
Kip
listened
Pulliam.
to the show, I swear I had this a couple weeks ago.
You must have.
He's making fun of me for the way I say Kip Pulliam's last name.
Because it's Pulliam.
I just said Pulliam.
Hey.
And if I get Kip on the show, that name Pulliam is my very...
Pulliam.
Shut up, Jeff. Have you ever
Can we
been
get
around a
back to
more
me?
obnoxious individual?
Can we get back to me?
Anyway, go ahead.
I want this to be about me. No, I did want to say last week I watched Independent play, and they've got a little guard freshman. You'll recognize this name, Buckner. Zoe Buckner Franklin. She's Tina Buckner's daughter, and she is a little stud. She had 27. Granted, they played in very overmatched Kiowa County, but she is fun to watch. She can get to the rim, and she can score, and she's not that big. Their boys' team at Independent is also very good. They are incredibly young. J.J. Selman's got a couple kids playing. His daughter plays for the girls' team. Two of his sons play for the boys' team. So very interesting there with Independent as well.
Well, they've decided they want to pursue that and be good at basketball, and it sounds like both programs are. And, of course, the collegiate boys look very good as well. So lots of good high school basketball in the area. Not too many marquee games tonight, at least that I can find. Is there a game on the docket tonight, Joanna, that you're intrigued by?
Well, I have to admit, I'm just glad to have made it through the week. We have one more week of the school, the first semester, so I'm just trying to make it. Derby is at Andover Central, and that's always a fun place to play. I love it. No, Derby's at Andover Central.
Okay, not a court. Well, I don't know what I'm.
Kansas struggling.
I'm just saying that Joanna Chadwick knows where her husband and son will be playing tonight.
You better double check with them.
I know.
I'd hate for him to show. The boys are at Andover Central, but it says on the list I'm looking at the girls are at Andover. I don't know.
Still working out the scoreboard thing.
Yeah, get it together. Joanna, I don't tolerate mistakes, as you well know.
I know it. Well, definitely check out my scorers list at Vype's website tonight. That would be great.
Absolutely, and we, as always, appreciate you putting the work in to get those scores lists up. High school basketball, in my view, is on equal footing with high school football, but you would not know it from following Twitter, unfortunately. Thank you for your time.
Bye, guys.
Time for 5 questions, as we almost always do on Friday in our final segment. Ben Hartman joins us from the Wichita Wind Surge, where he is now in his 3rd year, taking care of the ballpark, taking care of the field, director of stadium operations. Ben, welcome.
How's it going?
Oh, it's going well. We appreciate you coming on. So what's a guy that loves to take care of grass and dirt? What do you do in December?
Oh, we're equipment maintenance and ordering and planning for next year. I got 2024's calendar in front of me and got our season, and we're getting ready to put together a full year's plan worth of what we do.
Is it? And I'll get Jeff here. Let's hear the music, Max. All right. Is it more challenging to get ready for the opening night, or is it more challenging to make sure that July the field looks good?
I would actually say opening night. The reason being is we're a warm season climate grass here, and we have the fortunate opportunity of actually looking better as the season goes on. So that means is as it warms up, our grass is thriving. Our grass thrives in the 90 to 95 degree range.
Interesting. So do you consider yourself a little bit of an artist? I have to imagine you probably do. I know the first priority is making sure the field is done correctly and that it's safe and everything like that, and that the players will like it. But after that, with the stuff you do in the grass is just unbelievable. The designs, how do you come up with those? And I want to know just how do you do it? How do you get some squares darker than the others? That's something I don't know that I could do ever.
Yeah, so really, it blows a lot of people's minds. It's actually just the direction we're mowing the yard, and it's the reflection of the sun off the leaf blades. So we do everything as if you're looking from home plate, and if we want darker squares, we're going to mow towards home. The lighter squares, we're going to mow away from home. Then you just start playing around with it and doing directions, and then if we really want to get intricate, we can actually use brooms to push the leaf blades the way we want them. That's really how we get the fine details when we do some of the more detailed patterns we do.
5 questions guest, Ben Hartman from the Wichita Wind Surge. He's director of stadium operations, which includes taking care of that beautiful field. So they've never made a secret, Lou Schweckheimer and then Jay Miller, about wanting a lot of events at Riverfront Stadium. They played a lot of football games there. What's the challenge of football in a baseball stadium?
Oh, I mean, first and foremost, it's taking that dirt out and putting 14,000 square feet of grass in and then trying to get that grass to grow and the seams to fill in. That's always a challenge, but I think the biggest challenge more, and I was telling some of my coworkers or counterparts this, is that you go through a full baseball season and mentally you're grinding during baseball season, and the season's over, you can't check out yet. You then have to switch into football mode. So switching from baseball to football, because it's a whole different beast. You're doing different things, a lot of painting, a lot of math, and getting stuff ready for that.
So you've taken something that a lot of people do, which is yard work, and turned it. And obviously, yours is more intricate and detailed than just yard work. But I have to imagine it started there, right? Is that something like, was chore day fun for you when you had to go out into the yard? When did you kind of realize that you had a talent for cultivating yards and grass and things like that?
Yeah, well, it's funny enough. My grandpa, I was in second grade and I started mowing the yard on a ride mower, but I was too short to reach the pedals. So my grandpa built me a little 2x4 contraption to do so. So I've been doing it since second grade, but I got my first job on the grounds crew on the golf course when I was 15 years old. And it really just stemmed and developed and snowballed from there.
Ben Hartman, our guest for 5 questions. So here's one that popped into my head. You do so much of this work. Do you live in an apartment so you don't have to do grounds work at home, or do you have a home that you manicure the same way?
Yeah, right now it's apartment living. Eventually I do want to get a house, and eventually I do want to be the best yard in the neighborhood and make all my neighbors jealous, but we're not at that point right now.
So, but that doesn't. That's okay with you to kind of spend some years with apartment living and get away from that maybe to a degree.
I would say so, yeah.
So are you going to be doing this in the big league someday? What separates, because to me, I mean, I've seen plenty of big league fields. There's not much that separates those from Riverfront Stadium. Seems like you're doing big league work already. So is that a goal? And how do you think that you can make that happen if it is?
Yeah, I mean, I think if the opportunity presents itself, you obviously take a look at it and consider it. I'm glad you mentioned that because really one of the things that we do and I push my guys to do is maintain a major league field on a minor league budget. And the reason we do that is, these guys, they're going to the major leagues. And so we want that transition to be as seamless as possible for them, for when they get that call up to step on our field and the next day they could be on a big league field. And we want to make their job as easy as possible. And so that's the point. To answer your question about a big league job, I tell you what, those guys, once they get it, they hang on to it. I mean, they're industry veterans, and so it just has to be the timing and connections. But I'm certainly not actively seeking. I love it here in Wichita. I love Riverfront Stadium. Love the wind surge. Love the organization and the Twins as well. They're awesome from top to bottom. So really, quite honestly, there's no reason to leave. Don't see myself doing so anytime soon. But again, you get that offer and you have to consider it. But it's just one of those things I'm not actively seeking, if you will.
All right, we've come to the time, Ben, where we turn the tables and you get to ask us a question. I don't know how excited you are about that, if you're excited, or if you dread this, but here we go.
Yeah, no, I was trying to think of something that I don't know. I know you guys know baseball, just weird little facts. I think the one I'm going to ask. So the coaches' boxes, they don't use them, but we have to stay consistent. There's a certain measurement for them off the line and how long they are. I was wondering if you guys know that measurement.
How long they are and how far off the line they must be.
Yep, exactly.
Is it an exact measurement, or is there parameters that you have to work within?
No, it's an exact measurement that we're required to hold true to.
Well, everybody knows, Ben, that a coach's box is 14 feet 6 inches in length, and that they must be 5 feet 8 inches off the line.
Not quite. So 15
I'm going to go.
off.
Okay, go ahead. You can. I wasn't going to get it anyway, so go ahead.
So it's 15 feet off the foul line from the back of the base. That's your starting point. And then it's 20 feet heading towards home plate in length.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was a little off on that.
Doesn't seem like it's that big, but I guess so.
That's interesting. Yeah, I'm sure there's all kinds of parameters and rules like that the average people just aren't even cognizant of, don't even think about. That you have to make sure you're right there. So interesting.
Is there anything else like that?
There's a lot. So what is the back arc? So you guys know what I mean when I say the back arc from the dirt point to the grass point. What's that distance from the mound that it has to be?
Oh, the back arc.
Yep.
From the mound to the back arc. That would be
53 feet.
No, it's got to be longer than that. 74 feet.
Getting closer, but you still got to go up a little bit.
85 feet.
10 more, and you're there.
There you
95
go.
95 feet. Okay.
I knew I had it.
95 feet.
Hey, Ben, that's interesting stuff. Thank you for being on.
Thanks for having me, fellas. I really appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right, Ben Hartman from the Wind Surge, giving us some details that we were not aware of as it pertains to baseball field dimensions. You can't get that anywhere else.
Beautiful.
What are you looking at?
Nothing.
Checking your phone. What do you got?
Nothing.
Anything?
Nothing on there.
Why would you check your phone during the show?
Sorry.
Unless you had something breaking.
Well, I'm just looking. There's nothing breaking.
Well, we're doing a show.
The show's over.
It wasn't when you started looking.
Pretty much was. Otani undecided.
He has decided.
Undecided.
Has not decided.
No.
That's what I told you 20 minutes.
But he's on the way to Toronto.
We will see you all on Monday. Have a great weekend.
I'm Snoop Dogg, and I'm giving up smoke. I know what you're thinking. Snoop, smoke is kind of your whole thing. But I'm done with it. I'm done with the coughing and my clothes smelling all funky. I'm going smokeless. Solo stove, fix 5. They took out the smoke. Now you can have a nice blaze without any clouds ruining your day. Go smokeless. Go to solostove.com. Tell them Big Snoop Dogg sent you.
It's not just the season of giving, it's the season of giving back. That's why Kia is continuing its tradition of helping others by extending its partnership with St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. Kia's goal is to help St. Jude continue to improve the lives of kids and their families around the world through Kia's Accelerate the Good program. We want to make every child's holiday a little brighter. Join us and help celebrate Kia's season of giving back. Kia, movement that inspires.
Call 800-333-4KIA for details. Always drive safely. Event ends 1/2/24.